Welcome to the Diary of Happy Black Women, Episode 4, Spirituality and Faith. Join my two friends, Sasha and Camille, as they share their experiences and their personal journeys. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this amazing episode, Spirituality and Faith.
Speaking of spirituality, just a little bit of background is, originally how I just became aware is how I started my journey. And I was like, I don't like that I do that. I don't like that I do this. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to change it. I'm going to change everything about this because this is not me and I know it's not me. And so that's me right now.
Good.
And I'm just sticking with it.
I love that. Okay. Sasha, hi. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you, Naomi?
I'm doing good. So a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. I'm a 24-year-old woman trying to get through life the best that I can. Life's a fucking ride, but it's the most you make of it, and I think I'm just proud of the woman that I am now. I'm on this inner child healing journey right now, and I think like the little girl in me would be proud of who I am now, so that's all that matters.
That is all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, all you have is just like yourself. And a lot of people don't realize that. Like that you bring it out, like fulfilling the happiness within yourself is just like something that you can teach other people. Because you're truthfully, only you could be happy if you're happy within yourself to share that. Because like imagine, not living the life that you want.
We only have
And
one
that's
life.
both, we only have one life, and that's both what you guys equally just said, is like finding yourself. And it's hard because, like I said earlier, to look within yourself and to say, I don't like this, let me change what I'm doing. It's hard. And that's why I'm glad we're having these type of conversations, because everybody goes through this. It's okay to just like have insecurities. I hate saying that because like low key, like I don't know my insecurity until I'm faced with it. And that's scary in itself, because you never know when you're going to be faced with something, and it's just such a challenge to overcome it. So first question that we'll start out with is, what role does spirituality or faith play in your daily life? And how has it helped you overcome challenges and build resilience?
Well, first, I feel like I'm mostly faced with my spiritual journey when I hit my lowest in life. That's when I know that, okay, I need to look within because I can't get lower than this. And I think my journey is more so looking inward because I grew up looking outward within a religion that I didn't understand, but I was put in because I was just young in there. So to actually look inward and see that I need to focus on me before I seek outward is something that I rely on every day, because all I have is me in this vessel, in this time and space.
Nice. Haven't ever thought about it that way.
I think as far as spirituality or faith, I just, that saying, practice what you preach. But it is a practice for sure, but always like just not just walking the walk. Like you got to talk, or not just talking the talk, you got to walk the walk. You got to, you know what I mean? Like, because people say like, negative energy, positive energy, all this stuff, but people can also give fake energy. Ooh. You know what I mean? So people can pretend, and it's very, very vital. And so I don't want to be that person that someone not necessarily sees as that. Like, we're all in our own journeys, and I'm not judging anybody, but at the same time, if you're costing me my energy, that's where I have to draw the line. So just practicing what I preach, pretty much, especially as far as that.
I love that. Being more honest. I will say in this journey, especially because just like what you said, practicing what you preach. I'd be the first one to tell somebody about themselves. Ew. Ew. And then I'd be mad when somebody want to tell me about me. Who am I?
I mean, it's work because it's not easy to hear about yourself, whatever it is. Even when you check yourself, but even when you check yourself, you'd be like, nah, okay. Don't nobody else see it, so I'm just, you know what I mean? But then you're like, let me quit playing, because eventually somebody will, and then you're going to be like, I should have checked myself a long time ago.
I should have relaxed.
Yeah.
Like,
should have had a conversation with myself in the mirror about it. Then this situation wouldn't be presenting itself.
I should have said, be fucking for real.
Right.
So for real.
To myself. Yeah, I agree. You know what? I'm glad we just, no, seriously. Because, like, honestly, checking yourself is the first way to just take to that growth. Yeah. Because you're never going to learn until you learn, or until you want to learn. And that's the hardest part, is actually reaching out for yourself and wanting it because you want to change. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize this, because everybody is like, oh, it's so easy, you know, to do, have a better life, blah, 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 to seek for help. But actually, no, it's really not, because when you're not in that place, you're never going to be able to reach out or be honest with yourself.
But it's exhausting, especially exerting fake energy. It's exhausting.
It's so exhausting.
And people who can't keep up eventually are like, you know what? Again, we had this conversation a while back. It's like they no longer want to keep up with this facade, or they can't. So they're like, you know what? You've been a bad friend anyways all this time. And it's like, are you
in all actuality, I'm just being me.
Exactly. But because they were faking it, it's like now I can't fake it anymore. Now I just have to... But, I mean, it had to happen.
Had to happen. And it's sad. But then at the end of the day, that's where growth happens, is where we do access these different emotions. Sadness, happiness, anger, anything. Right. Tapping into something new. And knowing how to handle it. So what are some unique challenges that Black women face when it comes to spirituality and faith? And how can these be addressed?
I feel passionate about this one.
You feel passionate about this one?
It's just, I feel like since I grew up in such a strict Christian lifestyle, and not even because of my parents, it was more so my grandparents, that I was taught things like I had to love God before loving myself and my kids and other things. And yes, I can love that higher being, but looking towards that higher being instead of myself would made me lost. So doing things like yoga, meditation, or doing other things that didn't involve Christianity was deemed demonic. It wasn't of God, it's of the devil. And it's just like, it's all the same thing. Manifestation, aren't you praying? Isn't that not the same? You're praying for something to be, just like I'm manifesting something to be. It all correlates. So how is that demonic when you're doing the same thing? And it's
sorry.
No,
it's just putting your energy into something else. I agree. I feel like whatever created us, whatever you believe in, universe, I come from a very religious background. Me and Camille come from the same background of a very religious. I wouldn't necessarily call them Christian. I would say they're their own entity, I guess, you know. But it's a very Christian-based background as well. But whatever created us always created us with one thing in mind, like. And if you look in every single religion, I've done a lot of research on multiple of them, because I'm very interested in, like, what is up. What the fuck is up? Because, like, why don't we know where we come from? What's in the ocean? What the fuck is in the ocean?
Who's gonna find out?
And why is it only, like, certain miles deep and we don't even know?
It's
Now I'm
scary
offended.
and it's dark.
I'm offended because it's like it's not that far away, but we don't even know. No, seriously, like if you like just now, like they did all the research. It's like now I think it's like 13 miles deep. Isn't it 13 miles deep? The ocean. I don't know. Hold on.
Yeah, the deepest part.
The deepest part is like only 13 miles. That's not far at all.
How long?
Looking at distance, it's 100 and something miles to get to California. It's only 13 miles deep down. That's not far. Like, at all. But it's like, why have... It's offensive. Because it's like, okay, why haven't we, like... But anyways, we're not talking about the ocean. That's just, that should be a whole nother, like, other conversation.
Stuck.
And I'm sorry, no,
my head was just like...
She's like, mine.
Right, I'm like, I gotta go home and look shit up.
No, you remember we were talking about earlier, like, I think so much. I cannot stop thinking. We were literally just talking, Camille, we were like, why can't we stop thinking? It's like, my brain is active almost 20%. Even in my dreams. Like, I know my dreams. And now that I have been, like, calculating and, like, writing, like literally, like, writing down my dreams has helped me so much. Because now I can calculate exactly, like, what I remember.
I literally can't write down my dreams because I have too many to my dreams. I wake up and I don't remember nothing.
Write down every single one of them. Even when you wake up, just, like, whatever you do, like, keep a notepad, like, right next to you. And just, like, write it down. Because, like, you never know, like, what that, like, might, like, create.
Okay.
I think as far as spirituality, because when you get into that we face is when you finally find your voice, your own voice, you find your own path, your own journey, like whatever you want to call it, and you start to speak up for yourself and you start to heal, and people still categorize you and say, oh, it's because of this. Oh, she's acting like this because, oh, that's not even your roots, or that's not, and it's like, that has nothing to do with it. Spirituality is spirituality. That me being black, white, orange has nothing to do with it. But people still want to say, oh, that's why.
My biggest issue that I have with people is, like, people think I'm very argumentative. But then at the end of the day, I just want to know, like, how you think. So I'm gonna ask as many questions for me to understand you, because I don't mind sitting there waiting to understand you. Like, if it takes all day, then it's just gonna have to take all day.
Yeah.
But I would like to understand, like, why you think the way that you do.
People just take spirituality and they put, like, a stereotype on it.
Stereotype,
And
they
it's
have
like,
to.
what
like,
are you doing? No, that's.
But
You
then
don't
at the
have
end
to
of,
do all of
you
that.
don't have to do all that, because it's like, it's not about me.
Right.
I just want to know, like, how you concluded to this.
Right.
In
And I
your
just want to
own world.
understand
In your
entirely.
Own, yeah, entirely. I just, I'm never going to, even if I don't even agree, I just would like, you know what I mean? Because it's like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with everyone's so scared to be different now, because it's wrong to have an opinion. But then at the end of the day, how are we supposed to actually grow if someone doesn't think differently than someone else?
People think we have to be in a category or a box or something.
I'm glad I'm
order.
different.
Yeah, in order to make it make sense.
Call me weird.
Like,
Yeah.
all day. Call
But
me
it doesn't
weird.
have to be. Like, just let it be.
Yeah, I'd rather be weird than fucking boring.
no matter what,
Be
like,
for real.
we're all gonna be judged.
We're all gonna be
Right.
judged.
So do what makes you happy, because if you were doing what made you sad, you're still gonna be fucking judged.
Or
So-
if you were doing what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do, imagine going your whole entire life doing exactly what you're supposed to do.
Just sad.
It would be very sad. I want to break the rules. Let's
Something
see.
bad.
Let's see if I know you're supposed to go this way. But what if I go that way? That's what I'm saying.
happened?
Whatever. Oh, this is what I was gonna say earlier. Whatever created us to have free will, and any single religion, the basis of the religion is always like, this is why I don't believe in organizations, is that you're supposed to go our way. You're supposed to follow these rules to have a good life, to have blah blah blah. But then at the end of the day, how come if this God, you say, or universe, you say, whatever you believe in, created us to be sinners, to make mistakes, to live a life of our own, what's the point of following what you have to say? I understand morality bases like murder and all of that. You should have a book of human life. But then it's crazy to me that we're still living on this earth as humans for so long, and we still just cannot agree that it's okay that someone wants to be different. Let's be so for real. Like,
Just
what
be
makes
you? 'Cause
you?
Who else?
What
Who
makes,
else is gonna be me if I'm trying to be somebody else?
What makes you think you have the way of life?
Right.
If you did, tell everybody. Tell us how to end world hunger. Tell us
Yeah.
if you have all the answers. Like, please explain to all of us how to solve all of these problems. But we're so analyzed on each other's personal lives. Life should be about experiments. Because why not? Why not take the risk of being different, of not following a path that someone else written out for you?
Yeah.
Because we're not robots. We're meant to make mistakes.
Right.
We're meant, because without making a mistake, we wouldn't have most of creation. But anyways, how does spirituality or faith intersect with your identity as a Black woman?
Well, truly, I feel like I didn't start my spiritual journey till I was about like 15 years old, and I feel like now I've actually tapped into my full being because I finally chose to accept myself as a Black woman. And I felt like that was something that I think that was the full blockage, but it's because that we are Black women in America that we are kind of set up to already be insecure about ourselves because of the standards. So it's hard to be who you are because
Everyone's telling you who to be.
right, and they're telling you to be an aggressive Black woman or to be an argumentative Black woman, or your passion is too passionate, or everything is negative. And at the end of the day, it's just like, we're all individual people. So
And who told you that?
Who told you?
Told you that I'm aggressive.
like, oh, I'm so sorry that I put some fucking bass in my voice because I felt so fucking happy about this situation.
Right.
All of a sudden, I'm so aggressive.
All of a sudden. Are you intimidated?
Sudden.
No, but like,
I'm
if
not
you're
you are
intimidated, just say that. It's okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Baby, it's
but
okay.
You didn't have to tell me all the women around you until now lacked passion. Thank you.
Oh.
You need a
I'm
hug.
sorry your mom patted you on the back your whole entire life.
Like, so sorry. You never felt a woman with some emphasis. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So, once you actually embrace that shit and
Yeah.
realize that,
Actually
like,
be a man and like be okay with like a woman having feelings.
listen,
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, the biggest thing.
Because
for
I'm
me-
not here to like agree with you 100% of the time, because like, who are you?
We're not here to agree.
Not at all. We're here to question everything. Virgil. R.I.P. to Virgil. How can spirituality and faith be a tool for personal growth and self-discovery for Black women?
I feel like it just makes us tap into our natural born power. That's it.
Mm.
To be honest, Black women are powerful.
Mm.
And a lot of us don't know that. And we don't experience our power.
Mm.
And when you see, and when I tapped in, let me just tell you an experience really quick. I work at a restaurant, and one of my employees at the time, I didn't really interact with her. And then some time passed, and I started, like, talking to her or whatever. And she was like, the only reason I applied here because I saw that they had a Black manager. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, when I saw you as manager, I was like, oh, I could do that. And I was like, what?
Representation matters.
And right there, I thought, I am powerful. Like, I show people that we are capable of doing anything that we fucking want to. Anything, just as much as the next person. We are so capable and so powerful. And so powerful that we make other people feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my favorite part.
No, literally.
My favorite part.
I love
Not to be malicious, but
creating
Just
space.
being there.
if you're going to give me that power, I'm going to take it.
Give me all of your energy.
Just existing as a Black woman is energy draining
Very
to other
radiating.
people. Like, our light is sickening. Oh, it makes me sick how, like
Sometimes, you know what's so funny? I was going to talk about this on my other podcast, but, like, I'm going to bring it up again because this episode I'm going to talk about is recorded before yours. But these girls I met at my this modeling agency I was working with. And I was raised in very white spaces. Camille, you know as well. We were raised in very white spaces. And I didn't know that I wasn't doing enough until I stepped into Black spaces. Because I was like, okay, like, you know, I think I'm pretty lit. Like, I think I'm pretty amazing. And then I meet these women
Black.
that in the previous episode you'll see. And I'm like, I'm not doing enough. Like, I was very shocked because I'm like, wow, this comes from passion, like you said. This comes from skill, from actual talent. And I'm like, now I gotta step it up. I've never been around women that actually challenged me until I've been around Black women. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say, like, I'm not comparing myself to other people,
Right.
because I'm not. Because I find inspiration in that. I think if I'm not around people that I don't want to be like or that don't inspire me to be better, then why would I want to be around you?
Right.
You don't inspire me anymore. Because
And you saying that, I feel like a lot of Black women, not to tell them what to do, but need to realize that they do have a big influence
a huge influence
on other
everything.
Black women.
Especially other Black women.
Because when they see that Black woman doing something, then they're like, oh, I could do that.
Right.
I'm going to do that. She could do it, I could do it. Same. Little
She can
Black
do it, I
girls,
can do it,
the
I
same
can do
thing.
better.
Right. And that should be the mentality, but I feel like sometimes Black women take offense, like, oh, why is she trying to, like, what? And it's like, encourage that because, first of all, you don't know their journey.
Yeah.
Secondly,
you don't know what you can learn from
take
them
it as a
well.
compliment because it's inspiration for all of us. It's inspiration. And I just feel like we just need to just come together to keep that inspiration going.
To raise the level. Because I'm tired of, like, people telling me what we're doing. You don't know what we're doing. Because if you knew, you'd be impressed. And we would be on the front pages of everything. Like, what was that one show? I still love that show. With the dolls. They're like in Mississippi. It's like Dance Moms, but Black.
Oh, I know what you're talking
talking
Oh
about?
my god, Dancing Dolls or something like that.
Oh, I've never seen that show.
You should watch it. They're amazing. Amazing show. But just for that example, they're an amazing dance team. But yet I can't even remember the name. And I've watched the show, but for me to relate the show to Dance Moms, I've never watched Dance Moms in my entire life. But it's broadcasted to me so much and shoved down my throat so much that I only remember that. And it's crazy. Because it's like, how can I not remember the name of a show that I religiously watched? But then I'm constantly reminded of a show I never watched because it's on loop and shoved. It's crazy. It's programmed. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I did want to say one thing about this question. Did you want to answer first? How can spirituality and faith be a tool for personal growth? Or did I answer that? Yeah. For personal growth and self-discovery for Black.
Honestly, like you said, I think Black women need to realize how powerful they are. Like, we are goddesses within ourselves. And once you realize that, the miracles that come with that is just amazing. Like, I feel like I truly didn't find true happiness or bliss or just anything I really desired until I came within myself and realized, like, my full being as a Black woman. Because we are, like, not made to see the potential. And why is that? Why the hell is that? Once you realize that when you're growing up and you're just like, I was a little insecure Black girl for what? And that's why it's so important to heal that inner child within ourselves, because we had to grow up in those white environments thinking that we were little when we were fucking grand. We were amazing in everything we did, but it's because of the representation in media and in our schools and just around us that makes us think that we are less than what we are.
Yeah. It's very sad. It's also generational trauma because of standing out. You never wanted to do too much because of fear. So.
It's frowned upon to have confidence because.
Frowned upon to have confidence because if you stand out, you're doing too much. Do you guys with spirituality, now that I am getting more into like a different type of journey and like learning different things, do you guys think that you can feel your ancestors?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I haven't tapped into that part of my spirituality. Sometimes, and I don't want to say like tapped in, like I haven't like tried to experience it. But I do, like in some cases, like, and especially because a lot of my ancestors I didn't know, like my grandmother, I didn't really get to know her before she passed. But a lot of things that I used to hear her say, I'm like, that's why it popped in my head, or that's why I'm doing it this way, because I used to watch her do it this way, or whatever the case is. And sometimes I'll hear things, like I'll hear it said, and I'm like, okay, got you.
I'm so happy that you said that because, wow, I'm so happy that you said that because now that I am like on this journey, I never thought that I would be able to feel how powerful I am until my grandparents died. So you know my Fabo, right? Fabo. How do I say this? Like, I feel like I'm more powerful because of them, because now that the things I am doing in my life have been things that they would have never done in their lives. So now, like, I have a different approach to things, even when they died. It's so crazy how my grandparents died. They died the exact same way, which was great for my family. we went to their house. They both died at their house. And we went over there, saw their bodies, like, let them pass. We all reminisced good moments of their time being here, and it was a great celebration. I look at death very differently than most people because of how we were raised, you know? So, with that being said, now that my grandparents have died, I don't live for them anymore. Because, like, I've left the religion. My entire family is in the same religion. I have now experienced different things that have not been taught to me, like generational curses. And I'm bending that, like, do you guys know, like, I'm really into, like, time travel? Because I, like, believe in that. Because I feel like you can, like, access things in your life quicker if you actually just focus on that. So it's like now that, like, I am focusing on myself more than, like, what they did, a family. My grandparents got married. They had, like, 6 kids. That's so much fucking work. Ew. You're a mom. I understand. Even just having...
It's a lot.
1? Yeah. Ew. I can't imagine. It's a lot.
A
and
kid
like,
is a birth control.
I look at moms now and I just be like, man... Kudos, because ain't no way I'm doing that. I can't. Yeah. And I pray for them because it's a lot. And kids are way too much. It's too much. But anyways, now that I am living for myself, I feel like in these moments that I am able to do things that my family has never done before. My confidence is so high that I am on Mount Everest.
Right.
Like, never did I ever think I was ever going to go to Hawaii. It's been my dream destination for my entire life. And I had the opportunity to go, and I had the best time when I was there. Like, every single day I woke up, and I was, like, extremely at peace, because I literally felt like my grandparents were there. Like seeing it through me. Yeah. And it was great. Of course.
So, adding on to that, because, I mean, it really sucks when you really feel feel it more when someone close to you dies. But, like, my mom passed when I was 17, and I feel like that within itself really made me feel that I have guides with me. Mm-hmm. And since then, I feel like, well, like, it was a tragic death, but in many ways I feel like her passing was a way for her to spiritually watch over me and my sister, because it was hard to physically be that protector. And I'm reminded in many ways from my spirits and even, like, the ancestors that I know about that were deep in, like, a spiritual journey that was against the religion we were in. Like, they are here always to tell me that, like, I am protected in what I am doing and who I am, because it's okay to do this. Basically, like,
it's okay to experience.
Yeah.
It's okay to love. It's okay to...
Yeah. Especially experiences. And I feel like adding on to that, because you can't speak on something unless you have the experience, or you can't relate unless you have the experience. You can be empathetic and people can be sympathetic, but if you don't have the experience or know that experience, it's really hard to, like, really, or I guess sympathize, not empathize. Empathizing is, but to really empathize with people and say, like, oh, I know that. But the more experience you have, the more guidance you can give other people as well.
I love good experience.
Yeah. That's why I never listen to other people when they try to tell me about my life. No, because, like, even if the situation doesn't even end up in my favor, right? no one on this planet has ever experienced anything that I have ever experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And I've experienced amazing ass shit. So I'd rather have experienced my shit than your shit.
Right.
Like, let's be for real. Like, not a lot of people think about it that way because they're always projecting outwards. Because, I love my life. I wouldn't change it for anyone else's. And not a lot of people think that way, and it's sad because there's so many things that you can be grateful for. But they're always focused on what they don't have or what they can have. And
what somebody else has compared to what they have.
Mm-hmm. And it's just, maybe you would have more if you actually focused on yourself.
If you were grateful, too, for what you do have.
Right. Well, that too, or just you may be in a shitty situation. Like, I can't imagine I'm glad I was born in this country. I'm proud to be in America. I'm proud to be a Black American. Excuse me. Let me be so politically correct.
Right.
Because I have now realized that we are the only people on this planet that have had the ability to choose for ourselves what we want to be. We don't come from a country, and even if they want to say, we're coming from Africa, but, we've gone through 4, maybe 5 generations of people who have been on this continent.
Right.
We're not Africans. I am a American. America?
No.
Anyway. So, yeah. And I don't think people realize that enough, too, because it's why are we the only ones? People respect Africans, because the only reason why I know that is because a lot of people, I know my traits come from a very strong African background, but because I identify as an American, my mentality is so different than what I look like. People are so shocked because they take it as arrogance. But at the end of the day, again, people aren't going to like this because it is stemming from an American mindset. But you're jealous because we are the only nation that comes from actually coming from freedom. We can choose whatever we want to do. We don't come from a government that is based off religion or a dictator telling you what to do. We're able to do, a lot. And I don't think people really actually focus on that part of the American society enough. I don't know. I could talk about, I don't want to talk about politics because I don't want to get canceled. And it's okay to have a different opinion, but not in publicly anymore, because not everybody needs to know my opinion on everything.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's the point about understanding yourself, because I'm okay with you not agreeing with me.
Right.
But we've gotten to a point in this society where people can't respect each other enough to just say, oh, if we don't agree, that's fine. But I'm not gonna tell you that you're a bad person or that you don't deserve life because of your opinion. Are you okay? Is everyone okay? Because again, it comes back to what I was saying earlier, that we don't even know what the fuck is up. We still don't know, and everybody has such a tunnel vision of their own lives that they're not able to think about other people's perspectives of life. And I feel like no one will be able to experience what we do, and that's why more people should shut the fuck up and listen to Black women more, because we're the only people to experience oppression from everyone. So, yeah, this is why we're so angry. You want to know the answer? Because y'all don't listen. And it's okay. But that's why we build our own communities. And once we start progressing, i.e. education, that's why we're the #1 in education in this country. pretty much everything, even in business, they'll be able to, you know what, no, we're going to gatekeep. That's what we're going to do.
I'm gonna change my mind.
I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to gatekeep.
Anyway. Next question.
What would you give to a Black woman who is searching for her own spiritual path or seeking to deepen her faith?
Trust yourself.
If that's the advice I could give to a Black woman, is to, number one, learn how to trust yourself. Yes, learn how to trust yourself and learn how to undo generational curses. But that's number one, I feel like. And every affirmation she needed to hear as a child. That's the advice I would give.
I would say, honestly, learn yourself, learn who you are, the good, the bad, the dark, the light, do the shadow work, because listen, you're not going to really progress in life if you are not going to deal with the dark within yourself you're trying to suppress. That shit's dead. You gotta attack it head on, because if you keep fighting these demons, they're gonna eat your ass alive. So you have to realize that, hey, this is who I am because this trauma and this trauma, and knock that shit down. Keep it going.
Yeah, to add to that, because I feel like healing is something in itself, we all know. But again, putting categories or stereotypes on how things should be, like when you're healing, it should be, oh, all good things. Oh, well, healing means getting better, and you know, and not necessarily. Like,
Healing's so ugly sometimes.
it is,
It's the ugliest.
but you have to be forgiving to yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be kind to yourself. And that's one thing I feel like people don't. They're just like, oh, but I don't want to, oh, I reverted back, or I did this. And it's like, it's okay. Again, let it be. It's a process, and the process is just going to keep going. Just let it happen. But it's not always going to be pretty.
Healing's ongoing forever and ever, so whatever you choose to deal head on now will not bite you in the butt in the future, because there's always going to be problems. So do you want to deal with that problem from 10 years ago, 20 years from now, or do you want to deal with that problem 2 minutes ago? Now. Like, we're not here to carry on those traumas because they're always going to follow us.
No, that's really important. And to just sit in that moment. Because like you said, why not just deal with it now?
Right.
That insecurity comes up, that failure, that negativity, anything. Just be like, okay, well, this may take me now to get over it, or it may take me 10 years from now to get over it.
Right.
But as long as you address it in that moment, it's going to be okay.
Because them traumas will linger.
Don't pretend like it doesn't affect you.
Right. Be authentic with yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be authentic with anybody else,
At least
yourself.
be for real with
At
yourself.
least with yourself. Yeah, exactly.
Don't put yourself in your own deep, dark hole.
look at yourself in the mirror and be like, be fucking serious.
What are you doing?
Straight
Listen
in
to
the
me
mirror.
right now. Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Who are you fooling?
Not me. Not anybody else either. Because trust me, we know.
Yeah.
We know. Okay, so how has your spiritual beliefs and practices helped you navigate difficult times and find meaning and purpose in your life?
Again, just being forgiving. And it's not just with yourself and healing. With yourself, you want to be, forgiving to yourself. But also, there's a video I watched about just adults having a real ass conversation, and it's like a respectful ass conversation at that. I respect your opinion. I respect what you're saying. If I disagree, I disagree, and we don't have to, and that's completely fine. Move on. It's fine. And if it's not your time to understand or hear it, at a later time, you'll hear it, or you'll be like, that's what she was talking about. That's what he was talking about, whatever it is. But again, just being forgiving to those people on the outside as well, because again, if it's not their time to hear it, they're going to dismiss you, or they're going to just be like, whatever. It doesn't apply to them now. So they can't use that information.
Well, I feel like my most spiritual times are when my guides are yelling in my face. The clear head-on signs, like, that I can't miss anymore. It's like, listen.
Do you think you have a devil and an angel? Or do you have like a mushu?
I have little angel over here, little God over there, little goddess over here.
She has all the ancestors in that
they're
little...
all like in my ear.
Like Black Panther, like you go to the tree and they're like in purple.
Yeah.
Like, it gets tiring. I'm like...
Purple and white.
Like, I hear you, okay. Like...
And they're not even judging you, they're just looking at you. It's silent.
They just go,
silence.
You ready?
No, okay. Yeah.
You ready to do what I said?
You know it's bad when the silence is loud.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't see no signs.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the signs? Come back with the
The
signs.
tension is thick.
They're like, girl, we gave you all the signs. We're moving on.
We threw the flags at you. They were all red.
When I'm not really like on my journey, let's say, I feel like I'm being shown signs to get back on track. Like, I'm losing track. I need to focus on myself. I'm in bad situations. I'm in bad friendships. I'm on a bad path. Just anything. Like, anything. Sometimes you don't listen, and you gotta find out for yourself. And when those times happen, those signs and those guides are just like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do now?
I think that's so important that you say, because it's like, I love making mistakes. I do. Because like, it allows me to just be like, I'm never gonna do that again in my life. I'm never gonna experience that again in my life. Because I'm able to just like, especially with friendships, like you say, I'm able to like understand what I do like in a person and what I don't like anymore. And I'm able to like give people less chances. Because I'm not trying to waste my time anymore. And I think that's very important, because I know how at least amazing I am and where I'm going to go. So it's like, I hope that people, like the way I love, if you don't love me equally as much as I love myself, we're not going to be friends. Because I love my friends equally as much as I love myself, and I would want to see them do the best as much as I'm doing my best. So if we're not equally meeting at that same point, then it's okay. We're just not meeting at that level. But don't expect me to treat you at the same level that I'm treating myself if you're not treating me at the same level as I'm treating myself.
The problem is they don't love themselves.
They don't love themselves. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because if you don't love yourself, it takes a long time to like understand that you're not the problem. It's the system that's the problem. We're all fighting each other as if we're not supposed to have differences, when we're all taught that one system is supposed to work. Fuck that system.
Again, they're having real ass respectful conversations.
Strategies for integrating spirituality and self-care into daily life. And why is this important for Black women in particular?
It's very important for us to have self-care, just in there's nothing I love more than a black woman who takes care of herself in and out, just is, I don't even know how to describe, like, it is indescribable. When you see a black woman who really does, that just, I can't even, you wanna go? I gotta catch my breath.
No, seriously, because it's like when a black woman is glowing and she's just like freshly taken care of, at peace,
Right.
has no worry. How'd you get there and what are you doing?
Like, you just know yourself. You were in your
What's
whole
your recipe?
Yeah, what's your
being.
recipe?
Yeah.
What was your Sierra's prayer? Like, let's be for real. Let's get down to the okie doke.
Oh, there's nothing more powerful.
You're right. And that's why people want to steal our energy so much.
Right.
I don't allow anyone to actually take my energy unless you're accepting it. Like, unless I actually allow you to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Or
at
the
this
exchange
point,
of the energy, right?
at this point, because my favorite interaction with people is when they're like, oh, I thought you were going to be mean. Or something negative. Good. Actually, now that you say that, something just activated in me that I have to be mean. Now I have to prove you right. And because anything that I do will now be so critically analyzed because I'm not who you think I am.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just beat it to this finish line and let me be who you think I am already. Because why are you thinking so negatively of me in the first place?
I do not
It's
prove people
rooted
wrong.
in deep, first of all. What's the word? Internalized racism.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, an insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you approach everybody like that? And if you do, I'm sorry for you. Because how are you so intimidated?
And they usually don't. They only usually do it to us. But whatever.
And then expect you to want to conform to how they want you to be, so happy, so nice, so welcoming to them. Now that you literally just opened the door and I said hello and you just slammed the door in my face. That's all I saw. That was my experience with you.
Exactly. Yep. To feed off that,
Because
like strategy, meaning like number one, practice choosing who you want in your space. And if they don't pour into you, stop doing it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
have you heard that Nicki Minaj? She was like on live. And she was like, "Get off my phone! Get off my phone! We're done.
That's,
We're
yeah.
done.
Well, yeah.
I'm over it.
I love
I'm
cutting people
over like trying to make people feel comfortable with me because I'm a very comfortable person to be around. Everybody, I've never had anybody come up to me and ever insult me about something that was actually true about myself. Anything that has ever been said about me has been always deemed from something that they thought about me. It's never been something that has been true.
Factual, yeah.
So now that I'm actually starting to realize that and like not internalize that, like, oh, maybe I did come off that way. If I came off that way to you, then take that as a fucking warning to leave me alone. Because if that's who you think I am on our first interaction, imagine what it's like when you get to know me. I'm never going to be a person that you like. We're just not compatible people, and that's okay. I'm actually glad that we're not compatible because now I know what I like and what I don't like. I love you at the end of the day. I hope you do well in life. Per girl, sis. You know how they do. But like, no, like, I'm being so serious. Like, it's okay. But like, let's just not waste our time. And just have a good time. Because you wanting me to like you, or you wanting me to, or you wanting, did I say that right? You wanting me to like you so much makes me like really not like you. So just shut up and relax.
Just chill.
Just chill. But that's very important that you say that, not allowing people into your space, being okay with allowing people to think who or what
And
they
choosing,
want,
yeah.
because 99% of the time, even if you do have an attitude, okay, am I not allowed to? Are we not allowed to have emotions anymore? Are we supposed to be walking around like we're robots? Or we're AIs? We're clicking screens now and telling people what emotions they should be portraying out into the world. I agree with when I see homeless people scream. When I see homeless people,
I'm a computer.
when I see homeless people screaming, I'm like, oh, yes. Like, he must have had so much, whatever was going inside of him. He needed to unleash that. Good, unleash it. Because it's better to unleash it like that than murdering people in grocery stores. Because no one talks about that. But we're all so mental self-care, first. But no one talks about that. Everybody wants to talk about homeless people and how threatening they are. But no one thinks about, like, oh, Johnny down the street is going to take his gun and kill everybody. And elementary school, are we okay? No one ever thinks that way.
But
And I'm very like I said, I'm very American. What is that song? Let me. I'm being so unserious. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I have my Glock.
oh my god.
I told you I wasn't gonna be serious. No message would you like to send to other Black women about the power of spirituality and faith in fostering resilience, healing, and transformation?
And I know it's hard, and it's a hard journey, but the best spiritual journey is the one with your inner child, and once you set her free, you will be set free, truly.
What's the question again? I have the first part, but then it was like, no, I forgot it.
So what message would you like to send to other Black women in the power of spirituality and faith and fostering resilience, healing, and transformation?
Is that they're powerful already, but once you tap into your spirituality deeply, it's only up from there. Like, you just keep getting more powerful.
There's nothing wrong with actually knowing more. Because I feel like more people should look into different forms of life, lifestyles, culture. Don't culture appropriate.
Culture appreciate.
Culture appreciate.
It's good to know.
It's good to know. Like the gua sha, I've been doing that. I'm about to have the skinniest face in the next 3 months.
Skinny.
I'm gonna be Bella
Stop.
Hadid over here. No, I'm gonna be a Nook Ya. Let me be for real. But no, seriously, like, you gotta look into other cultures. Like, I love the German sausage. Have you been to Hofbrauhaus? Man, they be spanking people in there. Hofbrauhaus?
Where is that?
It's like on Paradise in Carmen. It's like this German like restaurant,
You're hilarious.
and they be like bending people over me like, bah, 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 and they be screaming like,
And they be serving glizzies?
and the beers, the big ones,
Whoa.
in like a really nice frozen like cup.
A glizzy, a brew,
stunning.
and a spanking.
Those are the good times. It's a good time.
Oh.
It's a great time.
Oh my gosh.
But no, like, just diving deep into other cultures is just like really interesting, because you never know like what you like, especially food. Thai food is my favorite. Oh my gosh, I love spicy food. That Thai food and Mexican food, I could eat it. Oh no, pizza too. I could eat everything, honestly. I'm a big foodie. But I think it's very important, like you said, to just like explore more be more open to just like understanding other people, understanding yourself, being at peace, being calm, and accepting. So, yeah.
Just the conversations we normally have, and we just want everybody to know, hey, listen,
It's okay to have these conversations.
Yeah, it's okay.
And like you said, to be open and like okay with disagreeing.
Because it's okay. Everybody has their own
respectful.
opinion, yeah.
Everyone has their own opinion on this perspective.
We were all made to be different.
All men. I don't want to be like anybody else. I'm actually glad when people tell me that they've never met another me. I'm actually offended if you say that. You met another me? You're lying. Never in your life. Have you ever met another Naomi Turner? No, a Naomi Juanita Jazia Turner?
Right.
Excuse me?
Oh, gosh.
Ain't no way.
That doesn't
Not
exist anyway. So
it doesn't.
It would be
It wouldn't be factual anyway.
It would.
Thank you so much for joining me on this amazing conversation.
Of course.
Do you guys have anything else you guys would like to add? A little advice, a little quote, socials, anything you guys would like to add?
I live a pretty private life. I don't know. I don't want nobody to know me like that.
Be looking out
honestly.
for my night. It's going to happen soon.
It's okay.
I don't know what's going to be called yet, but it's going to happen. I'm putting that into existence.
We are putting
Right
that
now.
If you ever want to kayak or paddleboard, Lake Mead, Hoover Dam, Colorado River, desert-adventures.com or at Desert Adventures on Instagram. Get out in nature, touch some, well, it's not grass, but go touch some grass and then go touch the river because y'all need
Grounded.
nature.
Yes. Grounded. You're so cute.
This is amazing. Oh my gosh.
Smell-
Thank you guys so
smell
much.
air.
For doing this.